area, we had the Temple of the Sun. Now we have this ecclesiastic building. So always the itinerary for the religious power. You have the facade of the president's house, all right? And the other yellow and white buildings are used for social and economical purposes. The one with the 3 flags, that is the town hall of Lima. The mayoress for the entire county, she works over there. Look at the rainbow flag. That is Cusco city flag. Huh? So it's a piece of the Inca's background in a European.
order to survive here in Peru. I'm sorry, it's too early. I'm talking too much, like a politician. A lot of kind of fish here, but especially sardines and anchovies. Yes, we export. The third important activity, what do you think? The fourth important activity, from 1980s until 1990s, in Peru, friends, no visitors here. Huge problem with the shining path. Did you hear about the shining path? The shining now, and this river is one of the main tributaries to the Amazon River. Did you hear about the Amazon? Amazon now considered bigger than the Nile River. And the Amazon River goes through to the Atlantic Ocean. What kind of fish we have?
We are in Urubamba, the Sacred Valley.
Trout? Salmon rainbow trout. But the salmon rainbow trout were introduced from where? From Canada. From Canada. If you have a chance to try trout, delicious, friend. It's very nasty. Very, very delicious. Now, in that time, some of the farmers says, I don't like eucalyptus. The eucalyptus for me is my first enemy. Why, I says, why you so afraid you're talking like this? Eucalyptus trees considered a religious place. Pay attention to the terraces. Those were considered farming terraces. What kind of crop? Corn. They produce corn over there. Okay? More greeneries to the right, on top. Greeneries. But pay attention on top of this hill over there. Can you notice some niches? Everybody follow me, maybe mine. Friends, pay attention. Can you see this? On top of the terraces, some niches?
Yep.
On top of that, the Incas did a very nice Inca construction. The Incas used mud bricks. The Incas used mortar style. Where you can see mortar style, pay attention to this wall. Pieces of stone between each piece a mud. Yes? But only the Incas did 5% finest stonework. We call finest stonework stone by this stone. Nothing between each piece of this stone. Where you can see this construction on top. Very nice finest stone work.
highest hierarchy.
How many mountains we
It
have
has
in
two
the Andes?
windows that are clearly seen
6,000
where
mountains
we
we
are.
have in the Andes,
One of the
but it
windows
means that
faces
generated
east.
334 important mountains.
Where is east, ladies and
The
gentlemen?
taller ones,
Look at my
the
laser.
snow-capped mountains, very special mountains for the Peruvian Andes are around of you. Can you see a beautiful mountains? Yes.
It makes a lot of sense.
Now, the
The window that faces totally covered with a cloud
was used for the
we
Incas
have
for
one
snow-capped mountains.
simple but very important.
That's the reason make more special the construction of Machu Picchu. But before the construction of the city,
Okay, that tip of that mountain, that's Machu Picchu. But since they discovered it, they just named this place after that mountaintop. And now this is known as Machu Picchu.
by the other face from here, more beautiful mountains. We have farming terraces. We have retaining terraces. Where is the retaining terrace? It's a small terrace that you can see here. Prevent erosion. Prevent landslide. That's the retaining terrace that you can see down below. There is a bus road.
Stand up here. Yeah. Stand up here.
Imagine that the color shape and the color, we know the house where the Andes could fly. The color of the wings created Spaniards took from here hundreds of tons. After to remove all the gold and silver from here, the Spaniards took to the capital of Peru, which is now Lima. Why to Lima? Because we have the ocean there. And they took all the gold and silver by ships. But something interesting. When the Incas saw like this, the Hispanics were removing the gold and silver from the walls, the Incas were thinking, what the Hispanics are doing? The Hispanics eat the gold, eat the silver? Because the Incas had a different concept.
This is gonna go here to make the road.
Better to come by bus. And ISV of Cusco City, yeah?
My favorite sport, soccer.
Of course.
Some of you was asking me about this tree, right? Eunia, Polylepis family. That's our native tree. Before to the eucalyptus, the Eunia was always here. Polylepis, poly means many. Lepis is king. Can you see the tree has many schemes?
You're going to be on the 15 to 20 minutes going down.
considered the main entrance to Cusco City before, like a guardian ghost. Amigos, we have a very nice children coming from where? They are coming from Kemporai, the name of the small community. How far is this community? 1 hour and a half walking.
Oh my God.
They are coming from there. Let me present to the principal, our friend Juan. Yes, he's taking care of the children here. Children from the 3rd grade until the 6th grade. You
Please don't take my sunshine away.
Bravo, bravo. Friends.
We are in Raqch'i.
That way.
So we should go to the bus.
People pay attention here. It was the appearance, yes. It was the style, it was the construction in the 1300s. This beautiful Inca temple. The first part made up with the stones. The second part, mud bricks. What kind of a stone we can see here? Always the Incas took advantage of the nature. The Incas adapted to the nature. What kind of stones? We saw in Machu Picchu granite stone. We saw in Cusco City basalt. We saw limestone in Sacsayhuaman. We do a sightseeing by bus. What kind of stone? They were fighting always. That's the reason they did a protection like this. What's up with my friend? That's because how they be communicated. Enemies were coming to attack. They use cell phones. They use a conch shell blowing, making sounds, noises, in order to announce if the enemies were coming or not.
Where would the conch shells come from?
From the ocean. From the ocean.
We realize now that the overriding factor was not distance, but direction. We had drifted automatically a fifth of the way around the globe in a westerly direction. Working our way a mere 200 or 300 yards in the opposite direction proved was bring us directly on the side to which we were drifting. If only we could circle the entire coral reef, we might be able to land on the other side in the lee of the surf. But as we drifted inexorably on, we could see from the masthead that the submarine reef was so extensive that we had no chance of avoiding it. All we could do was to prepare as best we could to be cast up on the reef. All means certain death on the sharp coral reef. We should all have to cling to the raft and hope that the great balsa logs would act as fenders against the deadly reef. Moment, Rory made contact with a radio ham in New Zealand, informing him that we were about to be wrecked on a coral reef and that if there was no sign of life from us during the next 36 hours, he should inform the Norwegian ambassador in Washington that we had perished. His last words were, 50 yards they proceeded unaided to move further and further across the reef at every high tide. One fine day, it had moved all the way across and into the lagoon.
Beautiful lake, friends. Can you see the White House to the left side? Next to the lake, close to the lake. Let me show you better now. Can you see? To the left, the white big house is my summer house. Yeah.
It's the town church of Puno. Cell towers and the lake Titicaca.
Is navigable lake in the world, because we used to navigate from Peru to Bolivia, one country to another country by big ships. It seems it was nearly on the fastest way to travel to Bolivia in that time, and since 1990s it was improved, the roads, and people are going nowadays by bus or transporting goods by trucks like this. And even smugglers, before they used to transport the Bolivian products into Peru by small boats, by sailboats, but since it was opened a road, they are importing the same products in much larger quantity by trucks. The other side, those mountains are peninsulas. In the map you can see on the distance these two peninsulas around here. These two peninsulas are the mountains on the distance. So beyond those peninsulas is the big part of the lake. The big part of the lake is 110 miles long and like 37 miles wide. So it's quite big out there. And here by the boat you can see already the reeds, the vegetation, right? And this reed bed, I was telling you, this water here in the middle is a natural channel, 75 feet deep water, but in the swamps is very shallow water here behind. Very shallow, like 3 feet, 4 feet, maximum might be 7 feet deep water behind in the swamps. And you can see each branch of houses. Water here in the middle is a natural channel, 75 feet deep water, but in the swamps is very shallow water here behind. Very shallow, like 3 feet, 4 feet, maximum might be 7 feet deep water behind in the swamps. And you can see each branch of houses is one island. They have some watchtowers as well, you can see on some islands, and these ones are used to be in the past to watch maybe enemies are coming into the territory. Nowadays they are for tourists to go up there and take picture from there. Yeah. And here's another school on the left side as well, the big yellow building as well. Like this, they have 3 primary schools. One of them is private school. This private school is a religious school run by the Seventh-day Adventist. The Seventh-day Adventist churches, of course, is very small percentage of people who follows this religion, and like that. There are some other religions, of course, but in very small. Read Kamisaraki, right? You may reply Kamisaraki as well. So, Kamisaraki. In Spanish, sounds like a T-shirt, camisa.
Camisa, yeah.
Okay, my friends, here we are. These are the people. Most ladies stay here on the floating islands because their husbands go out. With it decompose, it smells strong, maybe like a toilet. So it's much better to close it, right? And might be like this. And as you can see, there are some few layers of the reeds, right? Cristina, her name. Guadalupe. It's a very Spanish name, right? So in Spanish name, our native names disappeared really. And it's like this. Okay, our friend Raul will show us how they built this island, but in miniature size, in small size. And he's going to show us which materials they've got first and what are the next materials like that. Okay? So. Okay, he says to get this material they need to go far distance, must be like 5 or 4 kilometers from here, far to the northeast from here, and they may collect this material. It might be found by the end of rainy season, because by the end of the rainy season level of the lake is much higher, and with the movement of the water, this material and the reeds on top separates from the ground and becomes floating reeds. This is a natural process. And for example, the green reeds right behind the houses, they are with this material in the bottom. And like this, they have to collect only. They don't need to work hard to get this material. Okay, next. He says nowadays we are lazy people. Earlier, their parents, grandparents used to cut in smaller pieces with a tree trunk like this. Like this. It was hard work. Nowadays they are lazy people and they get much easy way. They get a big saw like this and cut off like this. Just to add, why do they cut off like this? Because these stuffs are floating such a huge area, and the channels to transport through are small ones. Is the reason why they need to cut off in smaller pieces. He says, here in this island there are 5 families, and each family must get at least 2 pieces of blocks, 2 blocks like this. He says they've got 16 blocks to make whole this island. You might imagine how big might be each block. Must be big enough to build one house on it, at least. It's an irregular size, of course. And he says at least 2 blocks per family. So each family gets 2 blocks, and that's your piece of land. That's the idea they have. Your piece of land, and on it you may build your first houses. Okay, that's it. Yeah, they tie them like this. The whole blocks all together, and of course nowadays they get nylon rope because this is a very resistant material. Whip just seeing is wet here inside, and this is perfect material for this purpose. They type them like this, all the blocks. And then, after 6 months, it might be ready to add the layers of reeds on top, like this. So like this. So the islands, they are such a big one, so they need to hard work to harvest a lot of reeds, and they can get in 1 week for the first layer, 1 week work, and the next week work, the next layer. The layers must be crossed each other like a woven, right? Like this. It must be crossed, otherwise you may go through the island inside the waters. Is the reason why they must be crossed, all the layers of the reeds. Okay?
Especialmente
Okay. Okay, this is just ready. Nearly, it's ready to build houses on it. And to build houses, they need to add some more layers of the reeds. You can see right under the houses there are some extra layers of the reeds. Because he says may have a little more money, they get wood. They have wood and floor. It is even much better, like that. And he's got a small tool to harvest the reeds. That's a knife, as you can see, to cut off the reeds. It's very sharp, of course, and it has a long pole because they harvest in deep water as well. That's for the house, some more layers on some spots. There are some few tree trunks in the island. Some of them are much farther sunk in the island itself. That's for the house. That's a modern houses. Chukya is the grandparents and their ancestors used to have this sort of houses in conical shape. Nowadays they don't have this because they consider it so small and not plenty of room. Is the reason why. Nowadays the few ones they have might be for storage house in dry season, or they cook inside of it in rainy season, like that. It's the same material on some few spots, or instead of this might be stones or rocks. That's for kitchen place. They keep wet around the kitchen place, like that. Tiny. They cook outside because dry season is, I was telling you, around from April to November or December is dry season, and they cook outside. Only in rainy season inside. And for fuel, it's easy, right? This material is easy to find in dry season, but in rainy season it's a little bit difficult. And for rainy season they save some money to buy some firewood, eucalyptus wood, and some younger generations. You know, they are lazy. They already tell us, right? And these young couples, just married couples, for example, they consider it's much better to get propane gas. because compared in the cost, might be a little cheaper to get propane gas than firewood. It's expensive. So that's for rainy season. That's the diet. Chicken eggs. Maybe from the distance looks chicken eggs. Later you will see much closer. It's dark here.
How cute.
And presidente. So in the island they need a presidente. That's his wife. He's the leader of the president. This is extremely important, this smoking spot here on the island. It holds maximum 2 people. And he says this is very useful, very important. Because these ones are, as you can see, like a kayak. And for this sort of reef boat, it's easy to get into the vegetation, to collect bird eggs, for hunting ducks, for children. He says sometimes children go to school. And he says as well, they use them as a romantic boat. This is not taxi. It's representing some big reef boats by the islands. And it's a fancy boat. It's the reason why they consider as a Mercedes-Benz. And these ones may hold some more people. He says it may hold 40 people, reef boats. But nowadays doesn't exist anymore this sort of market to exchange products. The only place for shopping is Puno City. And in Puno City they don't mind to exchange products, they want money really. And they have for sale so many things as well. And for these people nowadays the only option is to go out Puno City for shopping. And they go by boat, by wooden boat, bow boat, or some small boat. It's extremely important to have anchors because in the afternoons they may go to bed and the next morning they wake up maybe in Bolivia. They have no passports, might be a big trouble for them, and it's the reason why. They don't like Evo Morales. Evo Morales is the president of Bolivia. And he says, like this one, in this island, they have 11 anchors. So that means everywhere, all around. That's to keep in the same location. Why so many? Because there were some storms. It's the reason why. By the middle part of the rope, they tied some ropes. That's to keep the ropes down, and boats have no problem with propeller to go around the island. So you can see just the boat is just passing through, no problem with propellers. So like this. And they have 11 anchors like this, everywhere. Okay, that's it my friends. Did you understand? Okay. Bravo!
Yay! Gracias, Raúl.
So you can do your own island. No, just joking, our friends. Because they can do. Only the people who lives in the community people can do new islands, but people from outside, they are not allowed to make a new island here. But of course, it happens. Some few people from outside came into the island, to this area, to make new islands, but they are related with them. Much earlier, these people left, moved to the mainland, and maybe the economy is not good outside and comes back here. But that means they are related with them. Of course, this people is considered one of the oldest tribes in the Titicaca region, and they are only 1,600 people living here. It's a little bit impossible to believe they might be only 1,600 people if it's the oldest tribe here. Of course, there are more, maybe 10,000 people, but the rest of these people already live in the mainland. Out there, you can see some few houses with tin roof. Out there, most part of these people move out there. What's a diet, right? They live in the Lake Titicaca and they have fish, and fish is one of the main diets for sort of fish. They are native fish, and the native fish are like this. Restaurants don't offer to the tourists because they have a lot of bones. You must be very patient to eat them. It's maybe impossible to eat.
Kuka ha kontakto na kuka yas. Kuka kispe chokas na kuka apasipta, chulang apakasipta. Kuka te yas saran dahot. Kuka inchimo kana.
Before to leave for hunting, they give some offerings to the spirit of the lakes, some coca leaves to the lake, because they are asking success to hunt ducks.
Yeah, kuka saran tap tu kuka ichu kip tu ay kami ichu kip kami choka kip choka ukang gaski. Choka ista kap tu kuka hausa kap tu. Ma choka hausa ka ma kachuk kuchi ma warmi choka.
They go to the middle part and they can hear the noise of the duck. I mean, the best that's the noise they do. That's the chick, the noise of the chicks is like that. And so the males may come much closer.
Television.
21 meters.
20, 60 feet. He says, wow,
60.
Okay. Your present, mi amiga.
Be careful. I've told you it was not. It was found not with all corpses inside. It was found all just destroyed. So, an approximation is 8 to 10 because the real tomb is not big like that. The real tomb, the funeral chamber, is small. Like this, but just higher, and like that, approximations only. And they used to be buried inside people with their belongings inside. Yes. and there are some lightning rods and they couldn't get plenty of rocks because on the way to transportation the stones used to break. The few ones got here, and it's the reason why they have some white color rock. And I told you there was an excavation in front of this big tomb with some corpses from tips
Under stairs.